Good morning, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome new subs. Lovely to have you here. So I want to speak to the new moon that's happening in a couple of days. And I've been writing notes, and as I've been writing notes, I've been going through the process of what I've been writing. Why am I telling you that? Well, because I wanted to bring this reading to you last week, but I needed to stay with my process. So I'm going to whiz through my notes. Right, okay. So there are 2 or 3 things that I want to bring you amongst the astrology that jumped out for me that I've been working with. So on June the 29th, we have the Cancer new moon happening. And it's happening on the same day that Neptune stations retrograde in Pisces. So this could be an intensification. Because when a planet stations retrograde, the energy or the archetype intensifies. And what I'm taking from this is a deepening of the process called learning how to feel your own feelings. And also because it's Neptune, we've got to be talking about, bear with me, I'm just fudging around with my screen to get more space. We've got to be talking about moving through illusions. So we're talking about what's hidden. We might be talking about self-deception. My connection's bad today, I'm sorry. It's going to be some staggered energy. It's Neptune. Seeing through the illusion of perhaps a trickster or imposter energy. Seeing through the illusion that might have masked or hidden from you how awesome you are, really. How fabulous you are, how beautiful you are. How free you are. Okay, so really challenging perceptions during this time. And I remembered a word that was given to me, oh gosh, a year ago. And the word is Yugen, Y-U-G-E-N, which is a profound awareness of the universe that triggers feelings too deep and mysterious for words. Now, let me just talk into last week, because I live in weird. Weird is my normal. I live more in the meta. So I can process big abstract fields of clues, lights, gold nuggets, all of that good stuff. But last week, my weird went evolution. I have no idea what happened last week, and I'm not going to spend too much energy. I'm just going to kind of work with what comes out of that field. But weird got evolved somehow last week. I couldn't map to it. I couldn't name it. I couldn't see it. I just was listening to my body, and my body was like, where are we? I don't really know. Yeah, okay. So, Yugen. Profound awareness of the universe that triggers feelings too deep and mysterious for words. Now, that word came back to me because I think it's going to play into this new moon, because Cancer is with the feels. It's all the deep feels. All right. All right, let's move on. Now, there are 2 aspects that I want to talk about with this moon. We have a moon square Jupiter in Aries, warrior energy. So maybe what you might be peeling back the layers of to get to a clearer vision is actually your inner warrior. And how does that speak into the world? And what level of mastery is that at? How can that express itself? So, Chariot energy. So Chariot is the vehicle for the soul. So as the soul moves forward on its journey, taking life by the reins and learning to drive our own chariot. This aspect causes constantly increasing needs for emotions, care, and comfort. Okay. This is about self-care, self-comfort, and breaking through the illusion that I can't be around this anymore because this, I've been saying this for years. Does this enrich me, uplift me, meet me fully, not judge me? Okay. We've got the elevation of weird. So what meets your weird might be a great question. So we've got an introverted energy. And there's a balance point there, isn't it? Because Aries is diametrically opposed to introvert energy. It's fire, outgoing. Just noticing the weather changing. And so the balance point is when we become dependent on external conditions to define us or to guide us. All right. My intention remains the same, to make myself redundant on this channel. Okay, because you've all found your own way and I'm redundant. So this is about coming back in to find that golden thread back to soul and then to follow that thread. So here we could be speaking about a tendency for escapism or idealizing as a method to cope with weird to the power of 10. Right, so that's Moon square Jupiter in Aries. And here's the beautiful one. We have a to within 1 degree conjunction happening between the moon and black moon Lilith. So black moon Lilith is currently in Cancer. Now 1 degree apart. Now black moon Lilith is not to be confused with Lilith, the asteroid. BML is a mathematical calculation which calculates the point of the moon at its furthest point on its orbit. So when it falls into darkness, into blackness, and moon is the feminine. So this is the dark feminine, the hidden feminine, the rejected, repressed feminine. All right. So black moon Lilith in Cancer, we're talking about exclusion of the wild self, sacred rebel, and fear of a castrating parent. Now it leans to the castrating mother, but I've put parent in that because we're doing so much father-mother work at the moment of how we parent ourselves. It comes back to the same question: how do we parent ourselves? So a castrating mother may well have been castrated as a child herself. A castrating mother cannot help the child to blossom, doesn't have the blueprint. Okay. So that little movement there might be a shift in consciousness, a shift in perception of she was this, she was that. Projection and judgment to how could she do that? She didn't have the bloody blueprint. So what we're doing, everybody present here now and able to do shadow work, is building new blueprints to move forwards. Again, we come back to how do you self-parent. So rejection of the dark goddess. And we have, is she independent, confident and strong? Or a rebel without a cause? Because anger is a very useful emotion, energy, when harnessed and focused, very, very useful. Okay, so with the moon representing the sacred mystical feminine, this point can activate a kind of sacred rage or awaken a desire to redeem what has been hidden from view. She is the sacred rebel, that deep, dark part of us that either freely kicked and screamed and raged as a child, or who didn't, or who couldn't. Divine discontent is our God-given right, and left unexpressed can cause a world of harm to the self. Divine discontent can be as simple as no is a complete sentence. And I have to leave this. So this relationship's breaking down at such a rate at the moment as people rebirth themselves. I can no longer be with this. I cannot be all of me with this. Okay. So Cancer is cardinal water. It is the second cardinal sign after Aries and the first water sign in the wheel. It represents our first emotional experience. So we're going way back. So the piece of work I've been doing, unwittingly, hadn't intended to, took me back to 2 years old. Okay, hidden from view. It was in my blind spot and was profound, and linked beautifully into the chariot, which came through as a boat. Okay, so questions. Where do you feel you belong? Include the self in that. So if you don't belong to yourself, that will affect every area of your life. Where do you get fully met? Who embraces your weird? Who helps you hoist your freak flag high? How do you fully meet others and embrace their difference? Symbiosis. Where do you feel fully heard? And where do you fully hear others? So where are we meeting each other's emotional needs? And where is that good and where is that unhelpful? Where is that helpful and where is that unhelpful? So if we meet another's emotional needs as a soul mirror, that leaves them with the responsibility to grow. If we meet another's emotional needs by enabling that need to be fulfilled, then we've taken custody of that responsibility and they won't grow and they've learned nothing. Codependency. Cancer is the fourth house of home, hearth, family, origins, roots. It's how we nurture ourselves in the light of early conditioning or how we were nurtured as children, or whether we needed to grow a thicker shell to protect ourselves, or which part of the heart and emotions got shut down. So when new moon Cancer, focus on new. What do you want to change? So we're moving forward. We're looking at our chariot, seeing what's in it. And taking that chariot forward. More questions. Were your parents emotionally available to you? Are you an empath for others' emotions? And if you are, do you carry the story or responsibility for their pain unwittingly? Do you carry the story or responsibility for your parents' emotional deficits? Moon in Cancer is the archetype of the healer. Healers, Cancers tend to, I know tons of Cancer healers. It's like a natural gift. Healers tend to attract the wounded and without strong boundaries can become wounded themselves or entangled. How would you describe your boundaries around innate gifts like empathy and healing? Do you empathize with yourself like you do with others? How do you look after and care for others? And how do you look after and care for yourself? Were you able to play freely as a child? If not, can you build up blueprint and play freely as a child now? And what does creative play look like for you as an adult? Okie dokie. Now, when I wanted to do this reading last week, I was so drawn to this deck, which is called The Art of Love Tarot. Tony Conway, I believe. And so I sat down in front of camera and I started shuffling and 4 cards came out and they've been sat there since last week. So I'm going to bring them in. And they came in like this. Dreamer. breaking through illusion. Okay, so what these three cards are saying is there could be some fantastic revelations where you thought you were helping, and what you're going to be given access to is piercing that veil and seeing yourself in that helping, serving position, and realizing may not have been great for you, realizing it may not have fed you, and it may never have fed you for decades until growing up. And realizing actually what you were doing was survival. Okay. And so you bring the tower down, bringing down the edifice of our own creation. I thought I was being, insert words here, and actually I was being, insert words there. Okay, and the energy you use to do this, again, is observation and witnessing. So take a big step back and witness, just see yourself in that situation or event. All right, let's do a quick read. Will be a quick reading as well. So, Cancer, talk to me. Cancer, new moon, what are you bringing? Healing poverty consciousness. The checks are within. Time to cash them. Abundance and flow. Wow, something happening in my reptilian brain. What I'm seeing is there are little vortices of energy around my field. Have a look for this in yourself, that are lighting up like little rainbows. Okay. Do you remember the last video? Take your time. Okay. It's the end of poverty consciousness. It's the end of that 5 of coins being left out. Wow, this is profound. I'm covering that up. It's personal. I do not like the word hope. Faith. Faith to believe in something you cannot yet see. But the star card is that purification of the waters, the emotional field, your first ever emotional experience, whether conscious or unconscious, because it might have been in the womb. It might have been at the point you chose to incarnate. It's purifying. To bring yourself back into abundance. Why? Because you've got the reins on the chariot. You are driving your chariot. So easy to say, but when there's something holding us back in our blind spot, which there was me, then bless our hearts, we've got to have faith that when we move into this Neptunian energy in Pisces, the cosmic sea, the cosmic emotion, we're going to find it. Tenacity, take your time. Pisces. Neptune. So pages are students. This is student energy and gorgeous. Part of the abundance. So Ace of Trees, I would say, as the Ace of Coins. So this is material abundance by learning to master your mysticism. And mysticism can be as deep as learning how to harness energy and work in a magical way. And it can be as playful as I want to rebirth my child. I want to feel what it's like to play again, because a child in play state is magi. You've only got to watch a kid play. Self-care is governed Sorry, rephrase. How we care for others is governed by how we care for ourselves. I can only know you as deeply as I know myself. It all starts here. So, Guardian, 9. This might actually be about dissolving any need to be protected or rescued. Here we go to the dreamer. So the end of that Neptunian fairy tale, that Disney fairy tale, and really getting real that you are your own guardian. It's bringing it all home. That's absolutely gorgeous. Is there anything else we need to know? Yeah, absolutely. Right, underlying card is surrender. But I do, Chrissy. I sit still and I rest. Okay, so that's the physical. How do you rest the mental, and how do you rest the emotional? Because part of surrendering to hidden emotions is to take your time. Just come to stillness and observe and listen. Listen to the body. The body will give you what you need, because the body stores the story. The body is the blueprint, and it's also the betrayer. Okay, so it betrays us. How are you? I'm fine. So the body betrays. Okay. So surrender, hermit, withdrawal. Wow, look at this violet flame here. Look, this is purification, bringing brightness back to her feathers. Purification of the foundation. That makes sense. And I don't know if this helps, but I've had a ton of barefoot walking across grass. My whole body has needed it. So if that helps you, barefoot walking. Wow. That's for the next reading. I'm not bringing those in. Okay. Right. So, thank you, Cancer New Moon. Are there any other cards who want to go there? Okay. Karmic release, radical transformation, chamber of the violet flame. Violets, if any of you are healers, we use the violet flame to transmute lower base energies, lower base emotions out of the body. And if all you can do is picture this beautiful color, and my camera ain't that great, so maybe just get a screensaver on your phone that is violet flame and stare. Pull it into the body and do a wash, do a violet wash, top to toe or toe to top, whichever, you'll know. That's it. I'm ending it with that. Chamber of the violet flame. Get ready for abundance. Did I say in the last video, what if it all lands at once? That's it, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, always comment. I love you guys. Have a great week in the world of weirdness. Take care. See you soon. Bye.